the opening round of the NFL playoffs, and EA Sports continues its coverage of Super Wildcard Weekend. It's the Seahawks and the Falcons on Monday night.
5 teams have advanced to the divisional round, and one more will join them. Our final wild card game is underway. Returns looking good so far. Some good work on that return. Brock gets this out to the 33. So out head the Falcons for their first possession. They're led out by a QB who made his starting debut all the way back in 2012. You weren't still playing then, were you, Brock? He's found plenty of touchdowns since then. It's Kirk Cousins.
Well over a decade of starting in this league, and Kirk Cousins put up some prolific numbers. The thing that's eluded him, despite all the stats, are those playoff opportunities and those marquee postseason victories. I think Kirk, his family, and everybody rooting for him hopes the final chapters of his career will contain some of those.
2nd and 3 now. They fake the handoff. Now Cousins. And that's knocked away. The linebacker got him in the middle of the field. Incomplete. Well, this group right here, Brock, poised to make a run in the playoffs. But they've had to earn that trip to the postseason, haven't they, without some of their teammates here on the field?
And for everyone on this injury report, the key is recovery. If you got a shot to make it back, any shot, you're going to do all you can to beat.
Defense too much. The Seahawks drag him down. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Every defense in this league is going to sign up for a 3-and-out to begin a ball game. But to send them off the field, to really add that extra tone setter by backing them up with a sack, well, that's the cherry on top of that 3-and-out.
His work begins at the 31. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. So now it's the Seahawks' turn to take the field for the first time. They're led out by someone amidst their second act as an NFL QB. He was a second-rounder back in 2013, Geno Smith.
When Geno Smith won Comeback Player of the Year, it was really hard to find another comp. You know, the NFL, we love to always compare and contrast guys from different eras or project them moving forward. But there just were not many stories like Geno Smith, who just waited and persevered a decade in the NFL before he flourished. But what came to life finally was just the arm strength, the accuracy, the playmaking ability that was there at West Virginia, and it just took some time and maybe a little love from Pete Carroll at that time to really elevate his confidence and elevate his game.
That one ends up a gain of 6, and it sets up Seattle with 1st down. Kenneth Walker gets it for the first time. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. 1st down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. They go play action. Here's Smith. Connects with feint. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Running with Walker again. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They pick up 20 yards there. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down. Slot man in motion left. From the red zone now. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. D. Alford has the INT. And the Falcons will take possession at their own 35 after they track him down on the return. Well, Brock, they get an early opportunity here inside the red zone, but nothing comes of it after that interception.
Yeah, no question, Kate. You expect that this won't be their last chance or the last time they get in the red zone. This will, or at least should, be the last chance that it ends in a pick. They're going to take that Microsoft Surface tablet. Everybody is. They're going to pull that play up, and most importantly, they're going to try to identify what happened so it doesn't happen again.
12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it, and we'll move to the next.
He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game. And now it's third down. Working from the gun, it's Cousins. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of fourth down.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions, you get more depth. But a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
And he's brought down before the return gets far. And that punt gets up to 59 yards. And it'll be Seahawks football. So Seattle retakes the field for their second series. And as they take the field, Brock, they got to be thankful that interception didn't cost them. Still scoreless here. Hit behind the line, and the ball is loose. And this is going to be a turnover. The defense forces the big play. Falcons into the red zone for the first time. They've got 1st and 10 right along the 20. Throwing now, following the turnover. Pass is caught. That's Darnell Mooney. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Looking to throw, Cousins. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. But still plenty of options left on 3rd and short. Here's a counter give to Robinson. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
Shotgun snap now to Cousins. Has it in close. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. Second chance at 6 here. It's 2nd and goal. They send him left out of the slot. Robinson will not score, and it's not going to get back to the line either. I think he lost close to 3 on that play.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
And that one's incomplete. For now, he brings up 4th. Let's see what this penalty flag is all about. Easy call for the officials there. He was offsides at the snap, and that's going to cost him. So the penalty yardage moves him a bit closer here for 3rd and goal. They'll run here following the penalty. And he's in for the touchdown. The Falcons parlay the turnover into a lead. It's a Bijan Robinson touchdown. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score. Don't let it go to 4th and goal. And he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
And how about the other side? Beating the defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop them on 3rd and goal.
That one right down the middle. And the Falcons will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Kudu all lined up and ready to boot this one away. Here's a return from the 7. He's got a lane up past the 30. And he manages the 35 before they can stop him. Now Seattle all set to go here on offense. And Brock, they are not off to a good start. 2 drives, 2 giveaways. I think they could call this a win if this This drive just doesn't end in a turnover.
Yeah, there's got to be some voices of calm within this offense to play smart, not scared. Play smart and take care of the football, but you can't be scared to make a mistake, or typically one will follow.
2nd and 3 now. Walker now from the gun. And he's swallowed up in the middle. No gain on the run. David Onyemata there for the stop. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Staying with Walker. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
One quarter gone in our opening round game of the NFC postseason. 7. Back for our second quarter. It's Falcons football. They'll take over here following that punt to end the first. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
From the 24. Pitts brings it in. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Devin Witherspoon there on the stop. 3rd and 4 coming up now. Out of the gun, Cousins. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's tackled for a short gain.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face because I can think from Pop Warner to the NFL, everybody on the field thinking the same thing. Can we go for it? Can we get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down?
Looking to return from the 29. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. Call that a booming 56 yards in the end. And they'll get ready to go on offense. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Smith setting to throw. He's on the move. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. We'll give up the gut to Walker. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
That's the kind of run that shows he's trying to take some stress off the passing game to provide big plays. What a great help to that side of an offense when the ground game can deliver chunk plays too.
1st down, Smith to throw. Gets this to Fant. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And it sets up Seattle with 1st down. Now an inside give to Walker. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Pretty obvious, this defense, man, they need more people around the line of scrimmage. But the minute you do that, Kate, you start opening up those throwing lanes. This is how balance takes apart a defense.
Smith on 1st down. Catch made underneath by the back. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic. But it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
The back grabs it. And he'll be taken down at the last possible moment. He's at the 1. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out. Walker reaches the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. The Seahawks start to fight back with their 1st points of this game. Kenneth Walker, the touchdown. Now it's Jason Myers on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Seahawks tie this game 7-7. On now is Dixon to kick this one away. McLeod now returning it. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Out of the field runs the Atlanta offense. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. To the air, Cousins. This is brought in along the sideline. High degree of difficulty for a short gain. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Play action now for Cousins. Finds his man over the middle. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
And defenders are there to get him at the line. Julian Love bringing that one to an end. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Now it's Cousins. Makes the grab in bounds left side. That's going to pick up the 1st down after a gain of 26.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
1st and 10, around to Robinson. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
On 2nd down, Robinson. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. They come to the line here. This is 3rd and 6. Throwing his Cousins. Finds his target, Robinson. And he gets this forward to the 19.
All you can do is shake your head sometimes. Sure, the pass play works, but they come up just an inch or 2 short for the 1st down.
It's the 2-minute warning now from Atlanta. The Falcons have a choice to make. Only need the length of the football. It's 4th and inches. They'll run it with Robinson. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. And that run won't come close. That's a turnover on downs.
Well, a blitz on 4th down's a gutsy call, but it can work against a pass or a run. Good luck running for the sticks when you got a whole defense crashing you right off the snap.
That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught.
Can't cover it much better than that really well-covered Kate on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Back to the air, it's Smith. Into the hands of Tyler Lockett. And it's a nice gain, but still not enough for the 1st. Smith on 3rd and short. That heater is going to fall to the turf.
Kate, if there was one throw in the game plan that kept me up at night more than any other, it was an out route versus zone coverage. Because you got to throw with anticipation, but you also got to make sure those defenders' eyes aren't reading you like a book.
And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. Call that a 64-yard punt officially. And the Falcons will take over. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Cousins. Got a man. It's Drake London. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, it's Cousins. Get some space around midfield. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. Timeout called by Atlanta. That's going to be at second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. New set of downs for them from the 46. First and 10. Here's Cousins. Fits it through the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They get 22 on that one. And the Falcons will have a first. Now Cousins again. Dumps it off to his running back. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. The Falcons take a timeout to their final one. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. All right, here we go. Second down. Working from the gun, it's Cousins. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to go out of bounds just short of that red zone. It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Shotgun snap now to Cousins. That's brought in by Mooney. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. One final shot before halftime. And that one hits the ground incomplete. A single second left now on the clock. Looking for his wide receiver there. And it sets up second down. The kick by Lutz is good. And that's going to break our tie and give them a 3-point advantage. So we're to the half in this NFC Wildcard contest. Now we'll send you south to our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Report with Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Kate. Once again, thanks.
Gonna have to make those halftime adjustments on the fly today. We're skipping right through to the start of the 3rd quarter. All right, Brock, that was enough of a break. Back to playoff football as the second half of our wild card game gets underway. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Seahawks start headed out, and we'll see Kenneth Walker. And their defense sure has kept this game close. Now it's time for them to come through, get some points for their team in this low-scoring affair. First play of the drive. Here's Walker. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels. And right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
First and 10 now. Here's Smith. Into the hands of Walker. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Arnold Ebiketie makes it there for the stop. Second down now, 7 to go. They go with Walker here. And his drive forward halted after a couple of yards. Stopped by Grady Jarrett. So now here's 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Smith. Toward the sideline, and he's got Metcalf. And this one does not go far.
Those kind of completions are so frustrating, Kate. It's like a putt. You got it on line, you feel good about it's going in the hole, but you never want to leave it short.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And this punt is out of bounds with no chance at a return. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 30. Here's Atlanta ready to take over possession. And it has been all about these defenses so far, Brock. Even into the second half, we're still waiting for one of these offenses to take charge.
Yeah, what you're feeling, these defenses are making every yard tough, every first down tough, every series tough. And offensively, yeah, it's time to toughen up and maybe more importantly, sharpen up.
Big gain, 14 on the play. And it's good for an Atlanta first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Good little rip there. Looks like about sticks. Devin Witherspoon there on the stop. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Staying with Robinson. And he gets it forward to still about a yard out of that. Byron Murphy there to make the play. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Cousins. Got a man, Robinson has it. And the defense was ready. They got him at the line.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
And no chance at a return. He wisely angled it for the sideline and got it down to the 12 before going out. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Smith. Walker hauls it in. He's got a gain of 6 there. Desmond King up to make the tackle.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down, well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
And they take him down at the 24-yard line. He gets 6 on that play. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down. The give now to Walker. We'll have him gain about a handful there. Jesse Bates getting up for the stop that time. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the 29. Pass complete to Walker. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Walker on 1st down. Stiff arm success. And he'll be brought down after getting it to the 47-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Kate, don't think for a second this is time you step off the gas. You can feel this defense, right? They're on their heels. And now's the best chance to go push the envelope and get aggressive.
And he's able to get this down to the 36. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Hand off to Walker from the gun. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. He musters up 3 yards on the run. That sets up 3rd and 4. From the gun, Smith. To the sideline, complete, and he's got the 1st down as he stays in bounds.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Caught near the goal line. Touchdown, Seattle. So that, Brock, an important score here as they move out in front.
You know, Kate, this is the time of the game where fatigue starts to set in every once in a while, but that right there was a determined-looking drive. They were not going to be denied and able to score and take the lead.
Myers gets the point after to go. And the Seahawks take a 4-point lead. On now is Dixon to kick this one away. McLeod now returning it. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. Now here come the Falcons on offense. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Robinson on the inside give. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
Finds London on the slant. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down. We're down to 1 quarter before we determine our wild card winner. The Falcons have the football, playing for their season here. They're trailing. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. To the air, Cousins. Hits him on the out route. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Cousins. Short pass brought in. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Oh no, the ball is loose! And no turnover, it's going to stay with the offense. Well, you don't like to see the fumble, but hey, at least they were able to be the ones to recover it, and they keep possession.
Yeah, and I think the key there was to stay calm through the chaos. Cooler heads prevailed and got him the ball back.
And that one's behind him. That's incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. Here's Cousins now. It's into the hands of Mooney. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And this will fly out of bounds to deny a return. They're going to mark it a little before the 20. They're out and set, 1st and 10. A play fake, now Smith to throw. Smith and Jigba there to grab it. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops. They'll get 18 yards there. And it sets up Seattle with 1st down. It only took them 1 play partner, and they've already made it to that 40-yard line. To the ground with Walker. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Give him 5 on that carry, bring it up 2nd and 5. Taken in by Lockett. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
It's a gain of 4. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down.
Most of the people watching will forget about that play in a couple minutes, but the coaches won't forget. He has that filed away the next time he really needs to pick up a few yards.
And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. 1st down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. From the 42. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
You know, he might complete 99 out of 100 of those short, simple routes to the tight ends. Even the shortest and simplest of throws, well, it's due to end up in a drop at some point.
Escapes the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the 1st down. It's
Walker on the give. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a first down.
They go play action. Here's Smith. Heaves this one for the back of the end zone. And he loses control of the interception in the end zone. Could have taken away some potential points, but instead, new life, third down. They go play action here. Has it at the 7. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with first and goal. Running is Walker. And he drives into a pile of defenders and is stopped right at the line. Ball still at the 3 as they get set for second and goal. Now it's a bootleg for him. Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And that brings up third and goal. Looking to throw. Looking touchdown, but can't connect.
Well, you've got to have a short memory in the NFL. Incompletions happen. Now you got to make the adjustment and go get the next one.
An important attempt coming up here for Jason Myers. Angling this one in from the right hash, the challenge here. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And they're going to grow their lead late, but still a one-score ball game. On now is Dixon to kick this one away. McLeod now returning it. They'll have decent field position to begin with here, Brock. He's tackled just beyond that 30-yard line. The Falcons ready for their next possession. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be second down. Shotgun snap now to Cousins. Has him on the quick hitter. And that will not be enough for a first down. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Shotgun snap, a give to Robinson. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. That one ends up a gain of 6. And the Falcons will have a first. Working from the gun, it's Cousins. Caught, nice game left side. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. From the gun, it's Robinson. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
Pitts brings it in. And he's brought down after a short gain. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Throwing now. He has the first over the middle. And he gets him the touchdown. And now a potential game-deciding play call coming up. So they get the all-important touchdown here late in the game, Brock. Now the question, play for the tie or go for 2 and the lead?
And I know they've got all these charts and numbers and analytics to tell you what to do, but this comes down to the gut and the trust of the head coach. Does he trust his offense more to go get this 2-point conversion, or is he going to lean in his defense and believe that they can get the stop?
And everyone can breathe easier now. His try is good, and they found a way to tie it late in the fourth. Koo all lined up and ready to boot this one away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Seahawks returning their offense and this running back to the field. And even with some time left, Brock, a long ways to go to get into range for a game winner. They're going to need to move it in a hurry. Back to throw. Buys time, rolling right. Gets out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run. Seahawks in their hurry-up offense. They need to get everyone to the line. Coverage just too good there. Didn't find the throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. Third down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
And that's incomplete with 7 seconds left. Time for one, maybe two more snaps.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little giant after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. Well, Brock, 4 quarters, couldn't decide a winner, and now we're set up for an exciting conclusion to this contest. Overtime is coming up next. And postseason overtime differs from what we saw in the regular season. A touchdown on the opening drive doesn't end things anymore. Both teams guaranteed a possession. And if we're still tied after each team has had the football once, we then go to sudden death, and the first score takes it. It has been a heavyweight fight to begin these playoffs, and we're not done yet. The kick is away, and overtime has begun. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. The Seahawks offense running out now. And since it's the postseason, Brock, a touchdown won't win the game automatically, but it will put some serious pressure on their opponents getting the football next. They'll go with Walker on the counter. And they're going to drag him down after a decent gain. He gets up to the 36. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6. From the 36. Vacates quickly left side. He's on the move. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. Pickup of 12 on that play. And it sets up Seattle with first down. Walker now from the gun. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3. Staying with Walker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. So remember, even if they reach pay dirt, other side still gets to answer in the playoffs. They're on the right track, but still plenty of work to go to put that touchdown up.
Seeing those chains move is so critical on an opening drive. It's kind of like getting a runner on base, Kate, in the top of a baseball inning. It just sets the table for more to come.
2nd and 3 now. Out of the gun, here's Smith. Finds a seam down the middle. And he runs it in for the touchdown. Start the celebration, baby. They win it in overtime. A big play at the biggest moment of their season, partner, and now they're a stop away from getting this postseason win.
They can all breathe a little bit easier after that. You cannot come off that field empty-handed to start overtime. And with the season coming down to the next series, all the momentum is on their sideline and the pressure squarely on their opponent.
Myers to add the PAT. The extra point is good, and that's a big one. Now their defense just has to defend a 7-point lead here in overtime. On now is Dixon to kick this one away. Starting from the 5. And this drive will start inside the 25. Here's the Falcon offense headed out. There aren't any options, Brock, but there is a ton of pressure now. They've got to match that last touchdown, or their season is over.
And this is what makes the overtime rule changes so great. We don't want that last touchdown to end their season outright. These are the playoffs, and we want to see if they've got the mental.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
The challenge with so many sacks is it just disrupts everything in the rhythm and timing of your offense. All of these negative plays. Hey, this league and this game is hard enough when you're on schedule. All of these sacks set you behind the chains, and you've seen how disruptive it is for this offense. Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Well, they had the look, certainly didn't shy away from it, but couldn't connect, and now they're stuck facing fourth down. All right, Brock, we're at the ultimate do-or-die points here. Get the first down, or it all comes to a close.
I live for moments like these. If this were the regular season, remember, this game would already be over with the touchdown, but it's the playoffs, and they got a shot to answer, and they need to find an answer now, or they could start making their draft plans.
They're set up at the 35 now. First down throw for Cousins. Completed over the middle. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. 8 yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this second down. Now Cousins again. That's incomplete left side.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
Throwing on third, Cousins. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
You know, that was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
On fourth down, here's Cousins. And that one's going to be knocked away, and that's going to force a change in possession. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Sometimes a quarterback gets so focused on coverage down the field, you lose sight of those linemen right in front of you. On that occasion, he throws it right to the D lineman. Easy to get the paw up and swat away a potential first down.
So the Seahawks take this one on the road. And that was the type of game you can only hope for in the postseason, Brock. A couple of deserving teams laying it all out there. And they were finally able to get the win and keep their playoffs going. Well, that'll do it for us, for Brock Heward and our entire hard-working crew. I'm Kate Scott. This has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks winners as we say goodbye from Atlanta.